Okay, hello all. So if you saw my last video, I spoke about the Oster fast feed and how I got them working without Larry the Barberman's transformer. So this isn't really going to be a lot of use to most of you, unless you've got a lot of spare parts hanging around, but I thought it was interesting. So here we go, I've already unscrewed these. Now I'll take that off so you can see what's inside. There's the on-off switch. So that's the inside of the fast feed. Okay. Now, I spoke about on the last video my favourite clippers, which are these, which is the Oster 616, or one of my favourite clippers anyway. Now, if you have a look inside these, you'll see something familiar. Okay, now, so basically, the Oster 616 is the same as the Oster fast feed. The only differences are the on-off switch on the 616 is soldered onto the switch. Okay, the wires are soldered onto the switch, whereas the fast feed, the on-off switch is here. Controlled by an arm coming out here. If you remember me saying I had a pair of these that lasted me 20 years before the on-off switch broke. Okay, now I had those in the cupboard as a spare. They still worked, but I had to use the mains on-off to use them. So anyway, I dragged them out. Here they are, and took off this. That's the soldered on-off cable that I used to bypass the on-off switch when they broke. So what I basically did was, and it's fairly obvious really, is I took this out, actually it's this one, but this one out of the motor and everything, out of the old 616 and put it in the Oster fast feed. Obviously took the fast feed motor out first and then put the 616 engine in there. Now obviously it worked perfectly. I don't know the difference between the 60 Hz and 50 Hz as regards to power, but to my mind there's no power loss at all, and they work as they should do. So I'll put this one aside, the 616, put that back together. So basically it now works. I should say that the only problem I had was that this on-off switch had a pin in there. I mean, you can obviously just unscrew it and unclip the cables and it comes straight, this bit comes straight out. But this part here was fastened to that with a pin that was obviously tapped in. I don't know what those pins are called. So I took it home and used a hammer and a point to knock it out very gradually and very slowly. Eventually it came out, and then I just screwed it on with a screw, as you can see, and it was held perfectly. So so that's basically it. You can see that it's an American clipper that goes into a UK adapter, and that plugs straight into the wall here. And so I'll turn it on. Yeah, there you go. Sounds exactly as it should do, with no vibrating. If you can hear that rumbling, that's an aeroplane just going over. So perfect. I've used them all day in the shop and they're great. I did have the ceramic blade on, but I took it off because I found that they cut perfectly fine without it, and I actually prefer the wide teeth of this bottom cutting blade on certain types of hair. So yeah, so I've still got it, so I may switch it back, but I quite like messing about with them. So that's it for today. The Oster fast feed, I'll put it back together, works perfectly without any adapters. Now obviously you're not going to have one of these lying around. I imagine the 606 engine's the same, motor's the same, the 616 is the same, so if you've got any of those old clippers lying around, keep them, you never know. Okay, thank you, that's it, take care, bye bye.